Hi, and welcome back to our series on picky eating and all the different ways to get your kids excited to try new foods. And so I wanted to take a step back and really kind of say why we're creating this series. No, eat it. So one of the things not to do with picky eating is to really do that ultimatum while you're feeding them and say you must eat this food or try a bite. So what I want to do is show you other ways you can get your kids to try new foods that takes that pressure off eating at dinner time. So one of the best things to do is actually read books all about food. So what you're doing is in all these different steps of sensory play and reading books is really desensitizing kids to the idea of trying new foods, giving them examples. We have a whole article with a variety of videos on how to get kids excited to try new foods. So in that, so I want you guys to watch videos with your kids with Sesame Street singing songs about broccoli. I want you to read books about broccoli and zucchinis and all kinds of different books. And I want you overall just to get excited, to really kind of desensitize them in play and fun. Is that a waffle? What else do you see? A ha-ha, which is a challah. We call ha-ha. So I wanted to kind of walk through some of the books. They've already actually got into the books and getting excited to read them. So part of story time is really reading books about food. This is called Gregory the Terrible Eater, and it really walks through Gregory, who's a real picky eater and fussy eater, and it goes through how he gets a lot more accepting to try new foods. Nora, do you want to pick out your favorite book here? And we'll do story time in the park and read one of the stories. So here's another one. It's Good Enough to Eat, and it really walks through all the different ways to cook the food with your parents, to try the food, beautiful illustrations. It explains calories to the kids and really kind of helps kids understand the value of what they're eating and at the dinner table. So really, these are all the different ways that we desensitize kids and get them excited to talk about food, right? You gotta, when you always hear, no, eat it? Okay, we're not gonna eat the book. No, we're not gonna eat the book. But it's really about repetition and desensitizing. So the more that you talk about food, you prep food with kids, you garden with kids, you read books about food, that really helps. So on our site, we have tons and tons of books that we actually have most of the books for our kids, but here's Zora Zucchinis, and it really talks about how, the zucchinis come to the table. There's Sylvia Spinach right here, and it talks about the story of growing the spinach and harvesting it. Even Green Eggs and Ham talks about food. So I really want to encourage all of you guys to look at all the books that we have on our site. They come right off Amazon. We've already curated them for you. And start reading a lot more books about food to your kids. And this is one of the surefire ways that you can get your kids to be a lot more accepting to try new foods, right? So here's one. I will never ever eat a tomato. It's actually one of our kids' favorite books. And it goes through peas and potatoes and tomatoes. And it talks about how she'll never ever eat any of these foods. And then of course, when you call them something else, she starts to eat them. So it's a really cute story to kind of acknowledge that, hey, your kid's a picky eater, and she got over it. So there's, Dinner with Olivia. There's a little bit of everything out there. So I encourage you to really kind of think of teaching about food as a part of a curriculum that you have with your kids at home. But I just mean that it becomes a part of your life, that you don't really just tackle their picky eating and their fussy eating at dinner or at lunch, that you really kind of reinforce their eating habits throughout the day. So you make it a part of your lifestyle, you make it a part of your education with the kids, just like you would teach them their letters and their numbers and use lately, like this is a tomato. You use it as just a part of life. Food is so much of love and so much a part of life that let's not just separate it from meal times, because if that's their only exposure, kids are kind of, depending on their temperament, could be like, they don't want to try new things. So if you're talking about it throughout the day and you're making it a part of your life, it doesn't become scary at mealtime because it's just a part of their everyday. So what we do is we read a variety of books, a large amount of books, but we do focus on books about food and gardening, and we talk about food a lot, from grocery shopping to helping with dishes to helping to prep the food. I think it's really important that it's almost like a curriculum that we have in our home, that we make food a part of our lives. So we're always talking about peppers and tomatoes and zucchinis, And if we ever talk about Cookie Monster likes to eat cookies, we also say Cookie Monster likes to eat broccoli and zucchini and peppers and fish sticks and really a little bit of everything. And when we call fish sticks, it's really just fish that we make that we cut up in pieces and they call it fish sticks. Well, thanks again, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Find us on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Pinterest. Mommy, take it. Do you want to try reading Sylvia Spinach?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's read this one.